Do you think women should start introducing men to their kids?
And vice versa too, because it's some single men out here raising their children, and
it is. That's true.
Them to every woman that you date.
What I have noticed is that men are a lot quicker to bring them kids around the women than the women are the men. They do not really be thinking about it. Like
John Tasia need a mama.
Well, I think you got to keep in mind too that in most cases, the mother is the custodial parent.
Mm-hmm. Most cases.
I kind of agree with Steve Harvey, which I normally do. But I think one good point that he made is he basically was saying that you should let the kids meet sooner rather than later.
Okay, but this is what I was telling Chantel one day. If you have a daughter, you might not want to introduce her to every man you come across, granted, but it can also be good for a girl to see that men and women can have friendships without them being relationships.
Yeah.
And sexual in nature. You know what I mean? That's a different aspect of it too, which can be hard to decipher. Should I introduce Mr. Tony or not?
You can also judge it too by when your kids gauge an interest. Like if it's a situation where, your son always hears, okay, mom's going out with such and such, you start to tell her the guy's name. Okay, she's going out, with Mr. Ted or whatever, boom, boom, boom. And when he starts to say, when am I going to get to meet Mr. Ted? That's a good indication of when it may be a correct time. And you can just explain to him, well, me and Mr. Ted are not, girlfriend or boyfriend, anything like that. We're still getting to know each other. But if you want to meet him, I'll allow you to meet him. But I just want to let you know that because we're friends, it might not be a situation where you see him all the time. And then if things fall off, you don't have to explain it to your child, and you feel like the breakup is affecting your child too. When the child, you still keep that distance. I don't have to feel like now that you've met my children, I got to now explain to my children what happened to such and such. You know what I mean? Especially depending on the age of the child. I think that's a good way to gauge if it's the right time.
That brings me to another question that's not on the list, but it just came to me. Now, in dating, things don't work out. Do you think that if the child is a couple months old, I mean, I guess people still gonna date, but like if the child is 9 months, should that be a red flag that, this man done left his woman that just had a child 9 months ago or 2 months ago or 3 months ago? Like, is that a red flag, or should you give Mr. New Baby a chance?
She said Mr. New Baby. I would ask questions.
I asked a lot of questions, so I'm gonna ask right down to what's her name?
Yeah, I think it's okay to ask the question of what happened, because it could literally be a situation where they could have just been seeing each other and had a child and decided that this child, we're not going to be together and force a relationship just because we have a child. We're just going to handle our responsibilities. It could be that there was a relationship, she got pregnant, and through the postpartum and through the child growing, the breakup was.
The women on the other side, we don't care about all that. We want to know if you still messing with her or not.
Well, yeah, I mean,
what's up with you and your baby mama?
Yeah. But and see, Chantel, you said you want to go to the baby mama. Like, should you go to the baby mama and be like, look, what's up with y'all?
He's serious about you, and you are going to be around his children. That you, the new person in his life, and the mother of his children should meet. It's important and it's mindful to avoid drama to introduce these two ladies that could cause the most drama in your life. Because if you got a 2-month-old, you best believe the mama is not over you. And you done moved on with somebody else, she want to know what's going on with the baby mama. So it's best to clean it up right in the beginning. And a lot of them are like, nah, my baby mama gonna talk shit about me. Hell nah, I ain't gonna let you. Well, hey, whatever it is, let me be the judge. Let me see what's the bullshit and what's real. It's gonna be a little bit of both. Oh, you already know that. But I think it's important to make that connection in the beginning if you feel like, okay, this is somebody I want to be with.
I agree with everything you said, actually. I don't have any disagreement at all, but the caveat is if the father and the mother are not cordial,
don't get along,
then how do you expect him to introduce his girlfriend. Now, like you said, like he can make the effort, but I've been through it, so I'm not talking, you know, like how it should be. I can tell you from personal experience. He can make the effort, and you may hear the one side. You know what I mean? Like I didn't have to. I didn't have to tell my girl a whole lot of things about my kid's mother. She was going to see it when she saw me trying to be a father.
Exactly.
But him making the attempt could make that clear. But the female has to understand too that he could be jeopardizing the relationship with his child by trying to put you in that situation to give you security. The part that's missing is there are people who equate the relationship with the child with the relationship they have with the other parent. So my kid's mother is going to equate the relationship between her and my girlfriend with the relationship that she has with me. She's not going to have an interest in really wanting to meet my girlfriend to just feel safe, comfortable, and secure, and knowing that the children are safe. Because there's not a concern
of hers
if the co-parenting relationship with the father is strong.
I think if I'm dating you and you have small children, I want to meet the mother because I don't want any drama going into this. I don't want to be the enemy on the other side.
You want to know that he ain't knocking that down still.
No, that too. It's a lot of different elements. If you don't set those expectations in the beginning, have that conversation, get that out of the way. Look, I'm with them, but sis, I ain't got nothing against you, nothing at all, because they will come after you, come up to your job, put things in your car, bust your car windows, bust up your house windows, beat your cousin up, slap your mama, come up to the church.
But now, but look though, Chantel, on the other side of that though, you can then understand why some guys try to keep their girlfriend completely in the situation.
I understand.
You said nothing wrong. It's just that I think that that's you think
it's unrealistic.
No, it's not unrealistic. It's the circumstances. There was times when me and my kid's mother split. I'm out here doing whatever, with whoever, wherever, and she's not thinking about Antoine until my kids go home and say, Miss Keisha made some real good chicken. Who's Miss Keisha?
Them kids be the first one to throw you under the bus.
Who is Miss Keisha? Daddy's girlfriend.
You cannot trust them kids, okay?
How many times you seen Miss Keisha? She cooks all the time. She cook better than you. Her spaghetti is way better than your spaghetti, mama, because she put sausages and shrimp in her spaghetti. You never put that in your spaghetti. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then it's like,
you got them kids down pat.
And as soon as she knows that I had somebody, now it's a problem. Anybody who can do that should, because you're right. It's going to
alleviate so much drama.
A lot of drama, a lot of unfortunate circumstances from the beginning. But everyone can't do that. So we have to understand that everyone that you lay down with, raw or protected, you're potentially picking the mother or father of your child.
Right.
And if you don't see yourself having kids with that person other than for reasons that they're attractive and got good hair and you might have some mixed babies, then maybe you shouldn't have sex with them.
My thing is with the mother and the new girl meeting is when that kid is like 9 months and under. Come on now. That baby can't talk. And when you have a baby, the mama wants to send you all the pictures and they happen to be in the picture cuddling the baby.
First Christmases, first tooth, first this, first
everything.
That. And
where am I? Am I on the side? Am I in the middle of you and the mom and the baby's in the middle with me? Like, where do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You gotta think about these things. Well, I think that in general, that's how it will go, especially if it's their first child. Yeah. Everybody's going to want to be involved in the first everythings. And, it might look too cozy to your girl who's waiting for you to get back. Like,
well, I can say this. I can say this because when you don't cut certain things off at a certain point, you're always going to have to deal with it until you decide you're not going to deal with it anymore. And sometimes you have to make the tough decision that's going to make things easier for you later on, whereas at least going to create that boundary.
That's what she said, the meeting needs to take place.
Yeah, so, and the meeting, yeah, that's why I said what
y'all met in the beginning. You know, you might get some of these girls that don't even have kids, and they thrilled to do everything they can to make y'all a little family. She's okay with being a stepmom, but if you come in hot, calling me names, coming up to my job, coming up to the church, busting out my windows, it ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, and especially
it's better to have more people loving on your kids than less. Trust me. Like, please love my kids. I don't care what you see me talk to him like. Love these kids.
So ultimately, these conversations need to be had, right?
Absolutely.
So there was one more question, and I think this is probably the big bang before Santana tell us what he got to say. The women want to know, do men feel differently about women who have sex on the first date, or do their feelings change when you have sex with them too early on?
No, men be lying about that. I gotta keep it real. I know the fellas men be lying about that. A man is not really gonna look at you differently if you give up sex on the first date. In my opinion. Now, the type of sex you have on the first date might sway a guy's opinion about you. You know, you gotta
like, don't hold back. Give me more. What you mean?
Okay, because you gotta remember that, being honest, most attraction is physical. Any man that you meet is gonna want to have sex with you. It's just a matter of how long he can wait. So if you meet a guy, he already wants to have sex with you. So this theory that some women have, and again, going back to Steve Harvey, this is one of the things I disagree, where he says, you make a man wait. I think what he's getting at is just trying to gauge whether a man is going to respect you and have an interest in you if he's not having sex with you, which makes sense. But if you have sex with a guy on the first date, he already wanted to have sex with you, and he was probably hoping to get the sex on the first date. So for him to then in turn look at you a certain type of way really doesn't make sense. But I think that you can't give a man but so much on the first date. I don't think a man should know exactly how experienced you are on the first date.
So you shouldn't be busting wide open, pop, knocking, dropping, dipping, shaking, twirling.
The little tongue swirl and the flip off the bed, all of that can wait for a little while. Special.
Okay, fair enough.
But women think sometimes that you should give it everything. Like, you should be sucking it down. You should be flipping, showing them all the splits you can do, because you really like this guy, especially if he showed you a good time and you want him to come back.
Yeah, I mean, I can see why that would make sense, but I think more so what a woman should do. I'm gonna tell y'all a little secret about men.
Oh, all ears.
And how you can keep a man's interest and drive a man crazy.
Oh, yeah, all ears.
Men have egos. Okay, always remember that. And a man is going to love to be around a woman who strokes his ego. And if he feels like he's the shit around you, he's going to want to be around you all the time. If he feels like he's putting it down in the bedroom, he's going to want to be around you and have sex with you, because that is going to exude his confidence. Because that's the most confident point he's at, is when he feels like, I'm driving you crazy. You know what I'm saying? That's what submission is about. Submission isn't about a woman, letting a man lead and all of that. That's what they say. But real women who submit know that you control your man by submission. Because if you submit to him, he's actually going to bend to your will. He's going to trust you more. He's going to, the way he makes decisions and everything, and he's going to ask for more of your input because you're submissive versus wanting to do everything.
I can see that.
You know what I'm saying? So you can control your man by controlling his ego.
I like that.
I'm definitely going to keep that one in my back pocket.
Now, when it comes down to the sex,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, it's what you do and how you do it more so when you do it.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So if you wanna fellatio your man on the first night, cool, but you might not want to do it at the red light. You know what I'm
Might not
saying?
have to.
And if you do it, you don't want to do it until he finishes. You give him a little taste. Everything is about showing what they can get, so then they'll imagine what they can have. Because men do that to women all the time, and y'all
I'm
don't even
so sorry. I totally disagree. Ladies, do not. You hear me? Do
don't do what.
not suck that thing. I say don't have sex on the first night. You don't know if you want to be with this person. You are just meeting them. So remember, once you lay with someone, you can't wash that off. You can't take that back. You can't rewind that. I say do not do it. Now, if y'all been like dating online and y'all haven't seen each other and it's already established, like we're gonna get together, like, I can't wait to see you. That's a totally different situation. But if you're just meeting someone, masturbate before you leave. Don't go to that date ready, you know what I'm saying? Get it out before the date.
I mean, but you can't say never. You can't say never because you never know what might happen. Like this man might really knock your socks off.
Yeah.
I've seen
and it might happen.
Where someone had sex on the first date and they married. They have a full relationship. They are married. So I know that it's not always going to go that way, but I'm saying for women, for us to keep our own sanity, because once now some women just love to bust it wide open. They just like that. But for the most part, most women, we connect sex with relationships with feelings.
Mm-hmm.
You know you're that type. It is not a good idea for you to show him how drippy you can get.
But that's what he's saying. He's saying if you're going to do it, don't go all the way with it.
Yeah, because
don't do it at all, because he's not going to be your man the next day. It's not going to work out like that.
But that's what we asking him. Is that the case? He said no.
The question wasn't should you do it. The question was if it happens, does a man look at you different? Mm-hmm. And a man doesn't look at you differently because he has sex with you on the first night. It sounds, when you really think about it, it sounds like no man want a woman that he can just easily have, because what comes easy, you know what I'm saying, is not something worth having. But men don't really feel that way. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm telling you as a man, we can say some things that sound good sometimes, but how we really feel, there's a difference in what we like and what we want. You know what I'm saying? So the young lady that's walking down the street with the cut off shorts and the butt cheeks falling out, we like, damn. But you know the immediate
or the one on Instagram that y'all scrolling through, holding the phone too long. Make sure y'all taking in all the angles.
But now look, what's our immediate next thought? She don't have a man, because there's no way she could be my woman dressed like that. We like it, but when we think about what we want, that's not who we taking home to our mom.
But what about how it makes your girl feel if you just spending so much time scrolling, looking at these women? That's my thing. I cannot deal with that.
Dealing with what?
Men just online, on Instagram particularly, just spending, hours upon hours just looking at Instagram, looking at girls.
Okay. Social media is now a part of our lives. And people always try to, when it comes to relationships, withdraw social media or add social media in when it's convenient for their securities or insecurities. And I'm not saying that's what you're doing, but what I'm saying is I've heard women tell me or post on social media, I'm not posting my man because I don't want other chicks out here trying to F it up. We can be, private and this, that, and the third. But if a man doesn't post his woman, he's being secretive and keeping hoes happy. That's a double standard. You know what I'm saying? And you can be in a relationship.
We just had this conversation on the Keeping It Ugly group. Y'all, make sure y'all join the group. Because the girl posted the man headless on a jet ski. She didn't put his head.
And I showed it.
Oh, I want to show me, but I ain't got to show him. Well, why show the nigga at all?
Yeah, man, we in a microwave society and everything everything is about instant gratification, false gratification. Everybody wants to feel like because I have something, it makes me whole, it makes me complete, and it's this, that, and the third. So they have to show that they're in a relationship for validation.
I like
So,
that.
But
And you
not
don't
show
have
his
to
show his
show it.
head, then you're not in a relationship if you can't show his head.
yeah, and they
I
like
actually like that concept.
it
I
was hilarious.
despised it because if the same was to happen to a woman, poor dude would be headless for real
They were
in real life.
They were showing everything about the date except the guy that took him on the date. You showing the plates of the food. We don't see nothing but his hairy ass hand. You know what I'm saying? You in the car. You know what I'm saying? Showing that it's a nice car and he driving you around, but you got an
You
emoji
got
over his
it. You got it.
Oh man, like that's disrespectful to me. Like, just don't post it at all.
Mm-hmm.
But it's
But my question was, and I think we kind of got off track a little bit.
Yes, because we do know the answer to this. We do.
Why do men spend hours upon hours looking at other women on Instagram, knowing that it might be annoying to you, or knowing that, you know, like, okay, it almost feels like cheating. I know you're not sleeping with them, but you're gawking. I don't like that. I think that is a definite deal breaker for me, especially because it's new and it's the beginning of a relationship. And that's just not something that I'm comfortable with.
But how would you know the guy is doing it unless you are going through his phone? Because obviously he's not, hopefully not doing it while you right there with him.
I can't reveal my sources, but go ahead. Shout out to Keish, because I can do anything through my friend.
Oh my God.
But that's what I'm saying. But we know that they do because we know that they do.
Yeah.
And you can see who they follow based on just being on social media in general. So we know that they're looking.
Is it just like looking at porn, or what is it? What is the fascination? What is it?
Okay. The one thing I don't like how we're making this exclusive that men look at women on social media as if women don't look at men. When y'all see these posts of these guys with all these muscles and
we use our group chat. We do not be doing all that.
Group chat my ass. There's a white man I see on social media so much, and it's because Black women keep posting this guy.
The
like
one with the one with all the tattoos.
Yeah, like he's the finest guy in the world. It's not just something that men do. Men don't
but
just
he's
look
not
at.
naked. He's not naked.
He's showing, bouncing his ass up and down.
He doesn't have a shirt on.
But it's men all day running up and down my neighborhood with no shirt on.
Right. Totally different. Totally different.
If a woman is attracted to men's nipples, that's a problem, right?
I guess you got a small point.
Like how?
But
like
should that be an issue for us? Should that be an issue? Our guys looking at women on social media, should that be an issue?
Or does that show a level of insecurity that we need to check in with ourselves?
I'm gonna go with the latter.
That's fair. That's fair. Because it could be something that we just need to be like, you know what? I'm confident in myself. I don't care what he's looking at. You know, he's laying beside me, so I should be, you know, cool with that. But it still is annoying.
If you feel that way about them online, God, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do with yourself when they leave the house? And you're not with them.
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
I never thought of that.
You should be, you know, respectful enough to, you know, not be liking every chick that got her booty out, commenting, oh girl, like, yeah, none of that. No. But
a scroll through is okay.
The jury's still out on that. The jury is still out for me on that. I don't know. I don't know if I like it or not, but I'm just like, I ain't really feeling no type of way about it because I can't control everything that he do, because I'll drive myself insane if I do that. Just like when you go out in the world, I can't control them every second. So, you know, you just got to chalk it up as that's the nature of the beast. But if he's making you feel secure, not that you got to find all your security from him, but if he's making you feel secure in other ways, then, you know, if you ain't going through the phone and, you know, doing too much peeking, then you should be all right.
We'll see.
Yes. I guess that's a tough one. That's a tough one right there. So we wrapped up all our questions because thank y'all for submitting your questions because we had some, but y'all added a great deal to this conversation. So Santana said he got something to say, so we're gonna let him say his piece.
Yeah, I just got something to say. A lot of the fellas want me to they don't feel confident speaking about the topic, so I'll be the liaison, come out and say what needs to be said. So when you're born, you have genetics that you don't have control over outside of, surgeries and supplements, stuff like that. So unlike females, females who like females can go into a store and purchase the size penis that they want. But men, however, with genetics, basically have what it is that they have.
Okay.
So I think it's time that women stop trying to make men feel bad about the size of something that he was born with that he doesn't really have any control of. And the reason I bring this up is because there was this post where the young lady, she was basically going back and forth with this guy. They were having this flirtatious conversation. She starts sending him pictures, you know what I'm saying? He sends her a picture. She screenshots it, posted it, and the females was clowning the guy because of his size, so to speak, right? And as I'm looking at the comments, they put the picture in the comments, so I didn't have to look at the post and see the picture, but just looking at the comments. And I was sitting there saying to myself, like, they're having a whole post about it. Now, if this guy had did, first of all, if he did the same thing, he's lame, he's a jerk, and this, that, and the third, right? Because he exposed the girl, whatever. But I want to teach women something about the female anatomy. Y'all should know it because it's your anatomy, but I just want to reiterate, okay?
Okay.
We all ears.
The G-spot is 2.5 inches in from the vaginal opening at the roof of the vagina, right? Okay. Women feel a pleasurable sensation from penetration up to 3 inches from the opening of the vagina. Everything else is pressure. So if the G-spot is 2.5 inches in, the pleasurable sensation is 3 inches in, then how much dick do you really need? Good night. That's all I wanted to say. That's all I wanted to say.
You on that? I mean, because we've had this conversation. We've had this conversation about how big, because now there's a lot of video surfacing of some men's with some schlongs, okay? Like, all that shit is unnecessary.
Very, and will never come anywhere close to me.
Yeah, lawyer standards. That's all I'm saying. Stop making me feel bad about something that they, have no control over. This is what it was doing.
Okay, women
have no control over it, but it's up to them to figure out how to use it as well.
I agree with that. But
because you work with what you have. I mean, we do.
Have I heard any complaints recently in our convos about size?
No, because we're more so. I think the focus is really how you're treated and how you feel with the individual. Yeah. That's the kind of space that our particular friends are in. We're a little bit older, so we ain't really harping on the size because, I mean, you get creative.
What our single friends have been saying is that guys like to send dick pics. Like, that's the thing. Like, what makes you think that we want to see your dick?
We don't.
Right out the gate.
We don't. Even down the line, we don't need the pics.
If it's a situation where it was unsolicited,
Yeah.
then,
She is
you know,
Most of the time it is.
I used to have an opinion about women who used to get that type of attention, but I had to change the opinion once I realized that, you know, some guys are just perverted. I used to feel like it says more about the female that a guy would just randomly send you an unsolicited dick pic. But I think at the end of the day, it says a lot about the guy because especially when it's unwarranted, it's disrespectful.
All right, Santana, thanks for keeping it all the way ugly with us, just like you
Yes.
said you would. And we
Mhm.
love a man that honors his word.
Yes, we do.
Cannot wait to have you back. Like I said, our inbox is going to be flooded. We've already got some messages.
I definitely appreciate the invite. It was fun. Hopefully we can do this post-COVID in person.
Yes.
Hopefully, we're looking forward to that too. Thank you all for tuning in and continue to show us love. Be sure to like our new Facebook show page and join in the conversation on our Facebook group. We get it popping.
Mm-hmm.
And just search Keeping It Ugly with Chanel and Chantel. You'll find us there.
Also, if you have more questions that you want answered, you want to be on the show, or you may even want to advertise your business on the show, be sure to send us a message on Facebook or email us at keepingitugly2@gmail.com. We can't wait for y'all to see what we have coming up next. So be sure to stay tuned to Keeping It Ugly with Chanel and
Chantel.
bye, y'all. Hey,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah,
and it's a wrap.
yeah, yeah.